Yes.
Okay. I'm very conscious of the people on the phone. Because it's usually me, exactly. Well, that's a good idea.
Well, I want to see your pretty face.
No problem. But as Cindy was saying, my name is Mimi Paulus, and I've been in Premiere now for 2 years. Actually, this month is my renewal next week. I saw that. Make sure to do it. And I just wanted to share you a little bit about my why and tell you a little bit about who I am, because you tend to hear my name and I'm on the calls and you videotape for me and my team, which I thank you so much. I thank Cindy so much for doing that for my team. But it's always funny when I tell people how I started with Premiere, because I joined Premiere without going to a single show. I joined Premiere because Emily had won the designer cruise, and she came to stay with me. I've known Emily for longer than I've known my husband, almost 20 years now. And she came, her and her husband was a groomsman in my wedding. Her and her husband came to stay with us when she was going on the cruise. We were going to drive her to the port. And she just happened to give me a catalog, and she said, pick something. And I opened the catalog and was like, seriously? One thing? This is beautiful. What is this? And she's like, this is the reason I'm going on this cruise. And I looked at my husband, and actually John started talking to my husband, and they started coming back and forth, and all of a sudden my husband was like, you know, we need something, and this might be the answer to prayer. We had been going back and forth. I'm a teacher by trade. I'm a homeschooling mom at the time of 4, and so we went back and forth, and Emily said, I'm going on my cruise. Here's the catalog. Here's all of this information. I'll see you when I get back. And I said, okay.
About it.
And literally, she left. At the end of the week, my husband sat down, and John and Emma, we literally sat down in my dining room table and said, where do I sign? And I signed up. At the time, I bought both packages, silver and gold, because I knew what I was going to get into. I live in Miami. It is all about the jewelry. It is all about how you look. And all of a sudden, we started doing a little research, and at the time that I signed up with Premiere, there were 61 jewelers in the 4 counties. And if you understand that in Miami, there is 1.1 million people in 1 county. And there were 60 jewelers. And my husband was like, oh, no. This is good. So we got into that. I signed up. Emily left, and a week later we found out I was pregnant with my 5th child. So I had him. Funny thing is, Emily kept talking about Rally, and I was like, dude, I just signed up. Are you kidding me? And she said, no, make it a goal. I paid back my investment in 3 shows. Remember, I bought both packages. Between my training show and my first 3 shows, and I said, well, if I make the money, I'll go. And so I ended up going to Rally. It was day 46 in Premiere when I went to Rally. So it was my first Rally. I was pregnant. Cindy was in her little wheelchair. I got to meet a lot of you, and it was a huge blessing for me. But the part of me that said, okay, this is great for Premiere, I was not going to sponsor. I said, I am up to here. I said, I have now pregnant with my 5th child. I homeschool. There's no way I can sponsor. And while I was at Rally, I met a really good friend of mine just to have breakfast. And in September, she called me and she said, tell me about Premiere. And I said, no, you live in Texas. I'm not telling you about Premiere. And she's like, you have to. It's changed your life. And I'm like, oh, all right, I will tell you about Premiere. And we spent 3 weeks, her and her husband, going back and forth. I knew from my heart, I knew she would make an amazing, amazing jeweler. But I also knew what it was going to mean for me, because I knew she was going to expand. And so I said, well, I will do it. I called the doctor and I said, I need to go to Texas. And he said, you have 2 weeks. You cannot fly after the 2 weeks. And I was like, all right. So I said, you have 2 weeks to sign up. She's like, I signed up yesterday. Okay. So I went to Texas and I did my training show. And for her, She is an amazing jeweler. She was my first jeweler, and because of her, I said, you know what? I will continue to sponsor. I will do it, and I will do it. And so I have. I've been very, very blessed. I signed up my second jeweler last May, and I just have to tell you, because I don't think we make it personal when we talk about our OPs a lot. We talk about the business and the marketing, and it's really important that you make it personal. And I signed up this jeweler on a Monday, and her husband had a catastrophic accident on Friday. He had a head trauma. He was on a motorcycle, and he was hit, and he was life-flighted, and he was not expected to make it. He had much head trauma. And I called Premier to ask them to pray. I was like, this is a brand new jeweler. She was so excited about her business. And Premier, I was literally on a conference call all of a sudden. I was talking to the prayer team, and they were talking to the shipping team, and they were talking to the new jewelers, and they were talking, how are we going to get her jewelry? Who's going to pick up her jewelry? How are we going to do this? I was blown away. Blown away. So for me, that was so personal. Like, that was a huge thing. So that's my second jeweler, Lori. So I just want to tell you just how personal, how awesome it is for me to be here. I cannot believe I'm actually here because I'm always listening to you guys. So for me, it's a huge, huge blessing, and I really, so I had the baby, and yeah, I obviously have 5 kids now. But I just wanted to, I have 15 people, and I consider them 15 people in my downline. I have 10 in my 10, but one of my third level jewelers is a builder and has 5. And because she's in Texas and it's far removed, we have 15 people. And it is such a blessing that I can't believe where I am after everything that's happened. So that's my why, and that's who I am, and I'm crazy and loud, and
That's why we love you.